Hello guys, you're here with me Nicholas and we're here with another tutorial. Today I'm going to teach you how to stop your lag, at least as best as you possibly can. Okay, so if you have a look at my FPS at the moment, we are on 2 frames per second. Now that's because I currently have 92 mods installed plus shaders on, using these use shaders, and obviously this is very strenuous on Minecraft. It is not meant to do most of the things that I have it doing here. So we obviously can't play the game in 2 frames per second, but we do want all these features. Now I'm going to show you a few ways to get around this to boost your frames. Obviously if you can't handle shaders, don't have shaders, but there are ways to speed it up. So I'll just quickly go into the menu here. So we're going to options, shaders, and we want to turn off normap, specular map, cloud shadow. We want to tweak block damage on, and that should probably do it. Okay, so done. Back to the game. Now let's see what kind of effect this has had. Okay, as you can see now, I have changed those settings and we are now getting like 12-15 frames per second. There's a few more settings you can change in Minecraft. So we go to options, video settings, and obviously the render distance. If we take that down to 8, which is default by Minecraft standards, we'll go back in here. That's boosted it up a little bit more, so now we're getting oh no, that doesn't. I think because the render distance is changing now, it's not. There we go. There we go. Going up to like 13, 16. So we've gone up a couple more frames per second. So it's almost playable now. It's not quite there yet. So let's have a look what else we can do. Now there are other things you can do which involve installing mod packs, and there are programs that you can get. So let's have a look at a few of these. We have the turbo boost option in advanced system care. So if we configure that, you got your game mode there. So turbo boost, let's activate that. Okay, so if we go in game now, that may have done a little bit more. Yes, there we go. We got 20 odd frames per second there. That's helped a bit. What else can we do? We can install Optifine, but we won't do that just now because I'll need to shut down the game. We can also, on the task manager, let's take a look at this. So in Windows 8 you go to task manager, in the processes, go down to details, that'll highlight it here, set priority high. Okay, so that's boosted up a little bit more, so now we're getting like 28, 30 frames per second. So if you remember at the beginning we were only on 2 frames per second, now we are averaging just under 30. Now let's see what else we can do. So if we go to Optifine, so I'm just going to have to close down the game here so that I can install Optifine. So let's shut that down. And then we'll go to Optifine, and we want to go up to the mods. This is if you are playing on Forge, you can just drop Optifine straight into the mods folder. If not, you're gonna have to double click on Optifine to run the normal install. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drop it straight in the mods folder because I'm using Forge, so that will be running as soon as I start the game back up again. So I'm just gonna restart the game now. Okay guys, so I've installed Optifine. As you can see, the world is still loading, so the FPS has not quite caught up to where we were at before. But yeah, let's have a walk around, see how things go. So yeah, the FPS is sort of rising, going up to like 25, 26, 27, there we go. It's starting to go up now. Ooh, an asteroid, cool. But yeah, I want to show you a few other things you can do to improve your FPS. So going back to shaders. Obviously, if you don't have shaders, you don't need to worry about this part. But going back to shaders, you can obviously change the shaders that you're using. So we go to the shader pack. If we switch to a different one, That's boosted my FPS up a little bit, so now we're in the like mid 30s range, and I'm still using Zeus shaders with the motion blur and all that sort of stuff, so that's had an effect. What else can we do? There are the shader packs, so if we would use like a lower end one, like this one here, it's obviously the shadows are not quite as nice, and you don't have the reflective water and there's no motion blur, but it's still pretty good. So you know, you can compromise on the quality for the frames. So you can see I'm like mid 40 frames per second. Now if we just stop with the shaders thing now, because obviously not all of you are using shaders, so I'm going to turn those off, and so you can see what kind of effect that has. Okay, so now I'm hanging around sort of the mid 70s to 80 frames per second, and I've still got this high-end texture pack on, so you know that's immediately had a massive effect. Now if you uninstall shaders completely, that's going to have an even bigger boost, because just having shaders installed has an effect. I've noticed. What else can we do? Obviously there's the texture pack. You can use lower end texture packs if you wanted to. You could reduce the render distance further. Obviously closing down any background programs, so if you've got Chrome running, you could close that down. Or for example, I'm currently recording, so if I was to shut down my recording, my FPS would boost up again. And obviously I'm recording my voice as well at the same time, and that's a separate program, so that I've got 2 extra programs running in the background recording both the screen capture and my voice. Okay, what else can we do? Oh, so you see I'm over 100 frames per second at the moment. I can make this daytime so it's easier to see what we're doing. Okay, so I could remove the texture pack completely, so if I take that away, yeah, so we've made it over 100 frames per second, and there's still more that we can do. So you close down all your background programs. You can go into, make sure every time you start up Minecraft, by the way, you know, I remember when I showed you with the task manager how to set Minecraft on high priority. You need to do that every time you run Minecraft. It doesn't work sort of forever. Every time you shut down and start back up again, you're going to have to redo that. So it's just Control Shift Escape to bring up the task manager, find the Java, right click on that, go to details, and then go to set high priority on the detailed version. So yeah, that's enough of that. Anyway, you can obviously mess around with your render distance even further. There are options inside, let's have a look, inside Optifine. So if we go into video settings, you see we've got a lot more options now. As you can see, you can set chunk loading to multi-core, OpenGL to fancy if your GPU can deal with that. It depends what your graphics card's like. You can go into performance and you can change stuff like this. I've noticed that smooth FPS isn't actually very good on my graphics card. I don't know what your graphics card is going to be like, but smooth FPS dropped my FPS by quite a bit, and it didn't seem to smooth it that much. It seemed to fluctuate just as much as it was doing before, so I turned that option off. You've got the fast math, fast render, lazy chunk loading. All these things help speed up the game. What else is there? There's the quality. Obviously you can mess around with these to your heart's content. Details, you can like change the settings here until you get your best sort of options. And again, as you can see, I've got loads of mods installed. If there are mods in there that you don't really need, and they're just sort of, you know, hanging there, not really doing very much, and you don't use them very often, like say for example this, I can drop this and oh yeah, I have to shift right click to pick that up now. It's sort of like, you know, it's a random sort of little thing, but it's kind of useless. But you know, it's all up to you. It's where you want to draw the compromise line. If you would rather have all these cool little features than have the frames per second, then you know, go for it. But this is a tutorial about reducing your frames per second, so obviously you need to go around your go through your mods, decide what you do and don't want, get rid of any that are not important to you, and just keep the ones that you actually want. That's going to have an improvement on your frames per second. And what else can you do? What else can you do? So there's plenty that you can do. It's just all about tweaking. You got to find what works for you. So, oh God, what on earth is this? Okay, I have not named my flag yet. I'll leave that. Okay, so yeah, it's about where you want to draw the compromise line. You've got to decide what you want running and what you don't want running. So you've got to go through your mods, you've got to go through your background running programs, and obviously all the tips that I've showed you in here. If you have any further questions, do ask them in the comments below, and either me or some other helpful person will respond to you on what to do with that. And any helpful tips that you guys post in the comments, I'll put that in the description below. Any helpful comments that you guys have, I'll post those in the description below, just in case you've got any handy advice for people looking to reduce their lag. Also, I will put stuff in the, I'll put annotations for any good comments, so that we can sort of share all the information that we all know, because I'm sure that there are things that you guys know that I don't about the FPS, but I just want to make this sort of a one-stop place for, you know, sorting out Minecraft for all of us. Okay, well, I'm gonna go now, guys, so I'll see you in the next video. If I've been able to help you with your FPS today, please like the video and subscribe for more.